Hello, beloveds. May I invite you into a nice deep breath for using your diaphragm and allowing the day to just pass by. Take a nice breath in and just let the day go. And each breath, just feel all the negativity just draining right back out of you. It feels good, huh? Well, welcome. And today we're going to be talking about the ego. How can I tell if I'm an ego? And one thing to understand is that the ego uses your stories from the past and your hopes and dreams from the future. It uses those to generate an emotional state. If the emotions are already there and you don't even have a story of why you have the emotions there, your ego will start searching through files in your memory and even desires for your future, things you don't have. And it'll start justifying why those emotions are there, explaining why those emotions, blaming those emotions on certain events. And if you don't buy it, it'll just bring up another story and another story and another story until one you catch on, and then you're back in grief and you're back in sadness and depression, and or you're really angry and feeling like a victim or even a perpetrator. Some of us have come here to heal perpetration. All of us, if we're a victim, I guarantee you are perpetrating on other people. And so it's good to move out of that ego state that would continue that going. So how can we tell when we're in ego? The easiest way to see is that when I'm projecting outside of myself, I'm already outside of me. I'm in an ego state, a made-up state outside of me, based on my past, my ancestry that was used to make my DNA. That too has its dramas and traumas. All of its ego is also impressed upon me. So I need to be very aware. When am I blaming others? When am I trying to justify my belief that it's right? In other words, I need to be right. When am I explaining and defending? All of those things are an egoic state. It's one thing to tell the truth, but you don't have to say it over and over. If you're really telling the truth, you don't have to convince anybody. It's true for you. If you're trying to convince others of what you believe, then it's not the truth for you either, because truth just is. It doesn't have to be explained, justified, or defended. So you just say it one time, that's what's true for you, and that's it. If you're doing anything else, you're fighting to be right. And it's that fighting to be right, it means you're making one or more people around you wrong. And you're justified. You're right. And you won the conflict, but you may have lost a friend or the job or the situation. So it's probably not helpful to be in that state. And the ego just wants to be seen. It wants to be alive. And so if you're with drunks and you're at a bar or something, they're all telling their sorry stories, and they're telling them over and over as if no one's ever heard them before, and they've all heard them 100 times. So all that's an egoic state. That's not processing, by the way, but that's another video we'll do on processing, how to process properly, and so that you can let go of this stuff and not hang on to it. So we're not saying that the things in the past don't hurt. We're not saying that not to have anything towards the future or anything like that. But how do you be here now? That's the opposite of being in the ego. If I just am and I exist, I'm here. I'm right now. I'm not bringing my past forward for this moment to start projecting my past pains into this moment. I'm not going out to the future for my hopes and my dreams that I don't have and feeling like I don't have, and projecting that also into this moment. Because this moment is the only moment of creation. There's no other moment that we're creating. This is the moment. The past does not create, it's done. The future does not create, it's not here yet. This is the moment that you seed the entire future. This is the moment that you actually let go of the entire past. So it's very important for us to Take our deep breaths. Be here and present. If a negative emotion comes up, do we have the courage to actually sit with that negative emotion? And when the ego feels that emotion, it goes through your files in your memory and it's saying, oh, this is the reason why you feel that way. And it's not. None of that's true. It's you're just feeling the way you feel. You're picking up stuff that's in the environment. You live in a world, you're connected to the entire thing. Of course you're going to feel negative feelings along with good feelings. Can you just hug and hold them? Once you do that, you become the compassionate one. And that, as a compassionate one, you can embrace the hurts and pains that are in your past or in the world. You can embrace them. You don't run away from them. You don't cast them out. You don't resist them. That's another thing that the ego does too, is it resists. The I am, the presence that you are, the now welcomes, because it knows that you're connected to God and God wants the very best for you. That's always true. We choose less than the very best. We choose lower vibrational choices. That's our choice. That's our free will. So when you're choosing the highest vibrational choice possible, you're choosing to be here now. You're choosing to not allow the ego to bring forward stories that are not happening now. So feel that and be with that. Whatever arises, give it a hug. Say, I love you. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming. And we'll see you next time.